In this video, I'm going to briefly discuss 3 commandlets that I think are so important and I use so often that I've actually given them a nickname, and I call them the tripod. The tripod are what I would consider to be PowerShell's most important commandlets. Before I get started, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, to my sponsors. This could be you. Why not? I'll put your name here. Let's do it. So why does this talk matter to you? Well, if you're getting started with PowerShell, then this talk matters to you. And if you know someone who's getting started with PowerShell, well, you can send them this video and it'll matter to them, therefore it matters to you. Or if you came to be entertained and possibly learn something, well, then this video is for you. All right, speaking of entertainment, well, at least it's entertaining for me because I do dad jokes. So here is dad joke number 1. Why did Anakin put a jet engine on his next generation camera? Well, the reason Anakin put a jet engine on his next generation camera is he wanted to tripod racing, however you pronounce that. He wanted to tripod race. He wanted to tripod racing. Okay, I blew the delivery, but you get the joke. There we go. Let's move on. So the first commandlet that I want to talk about is get command. And because get command lists every alias, function, and commandlet available in your current PowerShell session. So if you have PowerShell open on your computer and you run get command, it's going to list all the commandlets that you have available to you. Now, this does not mean that these commands are loaded and in memory. You're just going to see a big list. If you're like my shell, you're going to see a big list. Now, the ones that are loaded in memory, you can see which ones those are, and you do that by adding the list imported parameter to the get command commandlet. But you don't have to worry about that because PowerShell will take care of loading those for you when you need them and when you use them. All right, so that's number 1, get command. So number 2 in the tripod is get help. And so what get help does is it shows you how to use what get command lists. So get command shows you what you have available to you. Get help will show you what you can do and how to use each one of those commands. In PowerShell 7, you need to know that the help is not installed by default. And so what you'll get is stub help, like a small automatically generated help, but it's not going to give you the information you want. So if you have PowerShell 7, but you haven't run this command, which I'm going to give you now, which is update help, you need to update help in order to get all the details of help. And so hopefully this will be easy for you, but I need to tell you, because when you run it, you will get errors. There's going to be some red text. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Just ignore them. For the scope of what we're talking about here, just do update help so that you have your help updated. All right, so that leads us to the third leg of the tripod, and the third leg is get member. So get member shows you what returns from the commandlets. So when you run a command, PowerShell is going to show you some stuff on screen in the console. That's cool, like it, but you need to know what you can do with that output because everything in PowerShell is an object. You're not getting just text. What you're getting is a formatted version of the object and its properties. Okay, so you use get member to explore the object and do different things with it. All right, so here is our contrived example that we're going to use for this video, and it's going to be, we're going to change the time zone of my PC. All right, we're going to pretend like I don't know how to do that through the UI, and I want to do it in PowerShell, or just want to be cool, and I don't really know how to do it, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so here we go. To the console. Little audio laugh animation if I can figure out how to get over here. All right, so now I'm in Windows Terminal and I'm in PowerShell 7 in this particular window. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do exactly what I said before. I'm going to do get command. Oop, I've already got some history showing up there. So I'm just going to run get command. And as you can see, I've got a lot of commands and it's just rolling on by. All right, now those aren't all the commands that I've loaded, remember? So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to say list imported. Now what I did there was I typed LIS and hit tab, and it completed that parameter for me. So I'm going to hit enter, and you can see this is much smaller list than the big list that went by. Now there's still a bunch in here, okay? So especially the PowerShell cores, like very important stuff. But this is the ones that I have currently loaded in memory. Now, I'm just going to show you that if I do the same thing over here, I'm going to do get command and hit enter. There we go. And same thing for Windows. Now, while that's running, I'm going to just cheat and go over here and do it again one last time. And we're going to see that this list is significantly smaller because PowerShell 7 on Ubuntu or a Linux variant of it of your choice, be that Mac or whatever, it's a much smaller list, much smaller. And the reason is I have not loaded the AZ commandlets into my Ubuntu instance, where if I go back over here, you can see that I have a lot of these AZ moduled commandlets installed. Okay, well that's all fine and good, but what we wanted to do was we wanted to do time zones. So I don't know necessarily, I'm going to pretend like I don't know what time zone command to use. So I'm going to do get command. I'm going to hit tab after I get the M's, and then I'm going to do star time zone star. And I've already run this command, so unfortunately it's in my history, but it won't be in yours if you've never run that before. And I can see the get command said, okay, I found you these time zone commands. And I'm like, great, but I want to set the time zone, but I don't know how to set the time zone for this. And I see the commandlet, but I don't know how to use it. That's where the second one comes in, where we use get help. So I'm going to do get help. And I'm going to do, well, instead of get time zone, I'm going to do set time zone. And I'm going to run this. All right, so get help on set time zone. And I hit enter, and I get the help. All right, so the help I get is kind of the basic help that I normally get. It says set time zone, sets the time zone to a specified time zone. Okay, that's great. And it says this commandlet is only available on the Windows platform. All right, that's fine. And here's some related links where you can go to learn, and then it gets some remarks. To see examples, it tells me this, and then it tells me detailed in full. This is where I'm going to tell you the best practice is every time you run get help, do full. I skip detailed completely, and I just do full. And the reason I do full is because it gives me the full help every time. And so now you can see we've got extra information about the parameters, whether it's required. Like in this particular case, the ID is required, and it accepts pipeline input, and it does not accept wildcard characters. But if you get down to the name, then the name can be required, but it does accept, well, I'm sorry, it does not accept wildcard characters. I was thinking it did because I got it confused with get time zone. The get time zone here, I'll just prove it. Instead of set time zone, we'll do get time zone full and go to name and see accept wildcard for this one. It is true. So this one, that's where I got a little sideways on that particular one. All right, so let's go back to our set time zone full, and we've got some examples here. Here's an example for how to set the time zone by ID. So if you know the ID, you get UTC and you can just set it and change it. Or set time zone and the coordinated universal time, etc. Here's another way to do it. You can do it by name or you can do it by the ID. Okay, that's great, but I don't necessarily know what my time zone is. Well, if I've got set, maybe I should look at get. So let's do get time zone and see what that has for us. Okay, well now I can see central time zone and I can do these other things, but I still don't know what the time zone ID for, say, Pacific time is. So I want to switch to Pacific time. Okay, well, if it's not set, it's not obvious in set and it's not obvious in get, what do I do? Well, I'm going to do get help, not hello. we're going to do get help on get time zone this time. And I forgot to do full. So I have to put full on there to get my examples and get my full description. And here we go. If I do list available, oh, here we go. This gets all the available time zones. Interesting. Okay, so let's do that. So this time we'll do get time zone. List. I'm going to hit tab after I type list so it fills out the rest. And there they are. Okay, that's cool. I like it, but maybe I want to get a little more information about what the properties are of this. This is where the third command comes in, because I'm seeing text go by, but I don't necessarily know what I'm looking at. So let's send this to get member. So lots of typos on that one. So now that I hit get member, I can see that the output is a timezoneinfo.net type. And it has these properties: base, UTC offset, daylight name, display name, etc., including the ID. All right, and standard name. Well, this is the properties and the type for what get time zone gives me. All right, so what if I do get time zone list available, and I do where? It would be, let's do display name. I'm going to hit tab so it fills it out. Oh, I'm sorry, I really shouldn't use aliases on these. I should do where object, and where the display name is like, we'll do star Pacific. If I can type it properly, and we'll see what we get. Well, here it is. Now I can see that the ID is Pacific Standard Time. And I can just copy this, and I believe if I do this right, we'll just keep an eye on the clock over here. We'll do set time zone, and we'll do ID, and I'll give it the Pacific Standard Time and hit enter, and my time has just updated. All right, so that kind of shows you how you can use get command to go find commands, even though I didn't know necessarily the time zone commands. No, of course I did, but in this scenario, we'll pretend like I didn't. And then for that, we can do get help on that to figure out how to use them. And then once we get the objects back, we can do a get member on like all of those that have get commands. Then we can do get member on those to see what kind of object PowerShell is returning to us. Okay, well, let's go back to the presentation, such as it is, and get back here. And so the conclusion of this is you want to use the PowerShell Tripod in order to use PowerShell like a pro and improve your command line satisfaction. That way, when you're working with commands and you're trying to learn how to use PowerShell, that these three commands will really help you do the work that you need to get done, but also do the exploration and the learning that you're going to need to do in order to figure out how to use PowerShell to its powerful utmost. Okay, so in other words, try it. You'll like it. Okay, that's the end of my terrible dad jokes. If you want to contact me through X or Twitter, I'm at Stephen Judd. This is my LinkedIn, so you can catch me on LinkedIn. I don't quite post as much there. I'm generally more on X/Twitter. I'm on Discord. I'm in the PDQ Discord and the PowerShell Discord, so come find me there. And then here are some links. One is to my blog, one is to my GitHub code, so you can go see my code and some demo examples. If you go to YouTube, which is not on this list, you can find me by looking for Stephen Judd PowerShell, if you search for that. If you just search for Stephen Judd, you'll get someone else. But if you go to that link there that says shortcutyour.life, that'll take you to my blog and it'll take you to my content page, which is a little bit in need of an update. So I'm going to start working on that soon. Those last two are kind of the shameless promotion, but I wanted to show you this. The store.stephenjudd.com is I'm going to switch over here back here to the video. So if you like this hat, where you can get PowerShell code on your hat, or if you like a PowerShell logo, or if it's this shirt, you kind of like this logo, I have all of this out there available on store.stevenjudd.com. And then the last one is just, hey, you don't want any more stuff in your house, but you appreciate the work that I've done, or you appreciate this video, and you just want to give me a tip. You can go to gift.stevenjudd.com and you can give me a tip there. Thank you very much, and I hope this was valuable to you.